You are not going to be full if you're eating a bunch of fat in your diet. Not because fat's bad for you. It's just Coach Greg, and today we're going to go over whether or not a low-fat diet is the reason why you're overweight. My diet has been criticized because people are saying it's too low in fat. You keep suggesting we eat lower fat alternatives. So is that in fact one of the reasons why people are losing weight? Should you be adding more fat to your diet to help you lose weight? To help answer that question, we're going to be going over a video by Flav City with Bobby Parrish. Low-fat foods are making you fat. So let's go over in detail and find out, is it in fact the low-fat foods that we're eating or a diet too low in fat that is the reason why we're overweight?
A low-fat diet and a food pyramid diet is actually making us fatter and sicker. I'm a product of the 80s, right? I'm 43 years old, where fat was vilified.
And it is in fact true. When I was younger, fat was vilified. Everything became fat-free, and instead of eating fat, they replaced it with a bunch of sugar. They would say, low fat, no fat. Anything that had no fat, they thought was the answer. But guess what? Since the 80s, obesity has in fact gotten worse. So is it the fault of a low-fat diet? Is low-fat diets, is that the reason why we're overweight?
I want to go in the grocery store and show you why a low-fat and fat-free diet is actually worse for you and it makes you fatter. So let's go into Target.
So he's going to Target, a grocery store, and he's going to go through foods and he's going to tell us the reasons why you need to choose the higher fat alternatives. Apparently that's the answer. Let's see why.
I always cringe just a little bit when I see people walk over to the milk section here and buy anything other than whole milk dairy.
Okay, so what he's saying is when you get milk, you have to make sure that it's whole milk, 3.25% or higher, because you want to get those fats. You need the fats. And he's saying, yeah, there's saturated fats, but there's good fats in it. You know, like omega-3 fatty acids, a healthy fat.
But it's not a bad saturated fat. In milk and in dairy are two very important things called omega-3 fatty acids and conjugated linoleic acids.
So is he in fact correct? You need to stop drinking your skim milk in favor of whole milk? Well, let's see and find out. Maybe that's the answer. Maybe the reason we're overweight is because we're drinking too much skim milk. Let's see. Well, according to Healthline, whole milk has 146 calories and 8 grams of fat. Skim milk, 83 calories and 0.2 grams of fat. So clearly way less fat and way less calories. Over 60 calories less. And as you know, it's calories in and calories out. So if you drink skim milk instead of whole milk, you're clearly going to be in a deficit in comparison to whole milk. So should you in fact have that whole milk because you need the healthy fats? Well, let's look how much omega-3 fatty acids are we getting from whole milk, and let's see if it's worth it. Well, according to the USDA database, 1 cup of whole milk has 0.18 grams of omega-3 fatty acids. So what he's saying is you should drink whole milk because it'll give you 0.2 grams of those healthy fats that you want. You know, the omega-3s. In comparison, 1/2 of a fillet of salmon, that's right, 1/2 of one, 178 grams of salmon has 4 grams of omega-3 fatty acids. That's 20 times more. So if you're drinking milk to get these omega-3 fatty acids, you will need 20 cups of milk. That's 5 liters. About 3,000 calories of milk you have to consume in order to get the same healthy fats that you're getting from salmon. So if you take Bobby Parrish's advice and you drink whole milk, you're going to be adding 60 calories for 1 cup of milk in order to get 0.2 grams of the healthy fat that you want. Or you can have 9 grams of salmon, which is basically nothing, the smallest of bites of salmon, to get the same amount of healthy fats as the whole milk. So here's my question. Why would you try to get more fats from whole milk if the omega-3s are so low?
But it's not a bad saturated fat.
The fat that's in whole milk is mostly saturated, not the good fats, mostly the bad fats. High-fat dairy products are not good for you. Fatty fish like salmon is where you're going to get the omega-3 fatty acids you want. So if you think that you're overweight because you're drinking skim milk, I'm going to counter that with, You're probably overweight because you're drinking whole milk. So far, 1 for Coach Greg and 0 for Bobby Parrish.
And it's inflammatory foods like processed oils, which are in a lot of things in the grocery store, and sugar, which is in almost everything at the grocery store, that is worse for you than the fat.
Next, he says you should consume the highest fat butters, the 100 calories in a tablespoon, and not the light butters. And why? Because he's saying the light butters have different kinds of oils that cause inflammation. So based on that, he's saying that inflammation causes weight gain, that you're going to store more body fat if you're inflamed. I'm going to argue that it doesn't cause inflammation and it's not causing your cholesterol to go up. He's saying a bunch of hocus pocus things, hoping you'll believe him. But I'm not.
Because the fat doesn't cause cholesterol to go up. It's actually processed inflammatory oils like canola and soybean that increases inflammation in your body.
If you in fact lose weight, you are going to lower your cholesterol, blood pressure. Everything's going to get better. You are going to be healthier. So just because you eat higher fat products doesn't mean you're going to have better cholesterol. If eating higher fat products means eating more calories, you're going to gain more weight. The video's called Low Fat Foods Are Making You Fat. And is light butter making you fat? Clearly not. He's debating that it's making you have inflammation, but it's not making you fat. The video doesn't say low fat foods are causing inflammation. It's saying low fat foods are making you fat. Clearly they're not making you fat. So 2 for Coach Greg and 0 for Bobby Parrish.
Salad dressings many times, you have to be careful. And because of the no fat here, you're getting a ton of nasty sugars, corn syrups, GMO ingredients, and crud.
Okay, so the salad dressing, he says, you need to choose the high-fat salad dressing and not the fat-free one. So the exact opposite of what Coach Greg says. And let's compare them. Well, the higher fat one has 120 calories and the fat-free one has 30 calories. Well, isn't that 90 calories less? Isn't that going to help me lose weight? But he's like, no, because the fat-free one, they have a bunch of added sugars. So let's compare the difference. The regular fat one has 1 gram of sugar and the fat-free one has 3 grams of sugar. So 2 more grams. Do you really think that the light version, which has 2 grams of sugar extra, is going to make you fat when it in fact has 90 calories less than the full fat version? It's got 90 calories less, and last I checked, it's calories in, calories out at the end of the day. So if you switch from full fat to fat-free, you're going to be in a deficit. You're saving 90 calories. You're going to lose weight. I don't see how this proves anything. How is that making you fat? So far, this is Bizarro World where the exact opposite of what you should do is being suggested by Bobby Parrish. So far, he suggested that we eat more calories from every single product and we're going to lose weight because there's some sugar, 2 grams more. 2 grams more. That's 1 spoonful of friggin' Fruit Loops. Do you really think that adding 2 grams of sugar is going to make or break your diet? It is not the macros, it's the calories. Calories in, calories out that matters at the end of the day.
The cool thing about fat is that it also helps your body absorb fat-soluble vitamins and absorb antioxidants from greens like kale when you strip out the fat.
And he's saying you need the fat to absorb fat-soluble vitamins. You know, A, D, E, and K. I've spoken this in videos in the past. But listen.
Light raspberry vinaigrette. And because it's light, when you get rid of the fat, you have to up the flavor. And
there was still 6 grams of fat in the light dressing.
And because it's light, when you get rid of the fat.
I paused it and I looked, and the light dressing still had 6 grams of fat. Last I checked, 6 grams of fat is fat. So no, you do not need to consume the highest fat dressings you can find in order to absorb vitamins.
And you put in a bunch of sugar and fillers, you're not getting that. So don't go for light.
So if you're on such a crazy low-fat diet, maybe you want some light dressing like Coach Greg uses. I use light dressing, has half the fat of the regular dressing. So by consuming half the fat of the regular dressing, you get less calories, but you still get some fat. And it tastes better. Tastes better to have the light version than the fat-free version, at least for me. And for me, taste is paramount. I'm not eating a plain, boring salad. I need my salad to taste good. I would not be able to sustain a low-calorie diet if it didn't taste good and keep me full.
I love peanut butter. Reduced fat versus regular Jif.
The full-fat peanut butter had 200 calories and 17 grams of fat, and the light version had 190 calories and 12 grams of fat. The light version, they added 3 grams of sugar. So, what is Coach Greg's opinion? It's not worth getting the light version. You're only saving 10 calories. They're adding 3 grams of sugar, which, as you know, is not very much, but that's not the point. Why would you consume the regular peanut butter or the light peanut butter when you can have powdered peanut butter? 85% of the fat's removed, and it only has half the calories. Half the calories. That means you could eat twice as much peanut butter or have the same amount of peanut butter, and instead of having 200 calories, you're only eating 100 calories. And it's not all the fat removed. It's still some fat, 85% removed. That means 15% remains. So you're trying to absorb those fat-soluble vitamins, A, D, and K? You still can because you're still getting some fat. You're not having no fat. No one's saying only eat spinach. No one's saying only eat cucumbers. You're eating a balanced diet from all 4 food groups. It's not a carnivore diet. It's not a keto diet. It's not intermittent fasting. We don't have to cut out dairy. You can eat all foods from all 4 food groups. Just bring it into the circle. Like from my freaking cookbooks. The cookbooks. Low-calorie, delicious, amazing tasting foods that keep you full. Lower in fat, but not no fat. You still have healthy fats. Remember the salmon, the avocados? They're still in the freaking cookbook now, aren't they? Sure, you have the cookbook. If you have it, you know. If you watch Coach Greg's videos, you know how I eat. So does it make sense to eat all that peanut butter when you can have half the calories with powdered peanut butter? No. But can you if you want? Course you can. But you have to be in a deficit to lose weight.
The fat actually satiates your hunger more. This is just sugar-laden and will make you hungry again in 30 minutes.
He's saying you need the fats to be satiated. The light peanut butter still had 12 grams of fat. Not going to be hungry 30 minutes later because you only had 12 grams of fat and the 3 grams of sugar not making you starving. It's the fact you ate 1 tablespoon of it. That's why you're hungry in 30 minutes. I don't care if it's from high-fat peanut butter or nuts. Such a small serving is not keeping you full. Don't care how much fat's in it. You are not going to be full if you're eating a bunch of fat in your diet. Not because fat's bad for you. It just unfortunately has 9 calories per gram. Protein and carbs have 4 calories per gram. And protein has a much greater thermic effect of food, meaning you burn more calories digesting the protein than you do the fat. 2 people both eat 2,000 calories, 1 protein, 1 fat. The person who eats the protein is burning off more calories than the person eating the fat. Doesn't mean CECO doesn't work, means the energy out component is increased when you eat protein. You're literally heating your body up, expending energy, digesting that food. It takes more work to burn protein than it does to burn fat. So far, he hasn't made one point that makes sense as to why a low-fat diet is making you fat.
The regular mayonnaise, of course it has 11 grams of fat per serving because it's all fat. But the light one, mysteriously, only has 3.5 grams.
So the regular mayonnaise has 100 calories and 11 grams of fat, and the light mayonnaise has 35 calories and 3.5 grams of fat. And he's trying to convince us that we should have the regular mayonnaise because it's got more fat. But it's got an extra 65 calories. If you're eating a regular mayonnaise, you're going to be in a surplus, especially if you eat everything else he's suggesting. Regular mayonnaise, peanut butter, salad dressings, butter, whole milk. What's next? Have full-fat ice cream? Have the highest fat steak that you can find? How does this make sense?
But they're also adding a touch more sugar in this one because look where the sugar is in position of the ingredients. And the one here, it's lower down.
Do you want to know how much sugar there is? 1 gram. You telling me that 1 gram of sugar is more triggering than 65 extra calories? Does it not make more sense to add 1 gram of sugar if it can save you 65 calories? I mean, come on. Why is he a sugar phobe? This guy's so scared of sugar. Imagine if he found out that people had snacks. Oh, they have snacks. They might have Skittles or gummy worms, gummy bears, Sour Patches. Occasionally, you can have a sweet. You're allowed to have snacks that have sugar. Oh, heavens forbid if anyone ever consumes sugar. Probably the end of the world. Look at my high-protein Joya milk. 110 calories, 16 grams of protein, 9 grams of sugar. I drink it in my coffee every day. Do you think I'm scared of having that milk because it has 9 grams of sugar? No, you are going to burn it off. You do not need to avoid all foods with sugar to live a healthy life. Your body is made to consume sugar. Just don't overdo it. Don't have hundreds of grams. Don't add sugar to everything you're eating. Try to have less sugar than last time and less calories and be in a deficit. And if you lose weight, you are going to be healthier. You will lower your blood pressure. You will improve your cholesterol. Not only that, when you lose weight, easier to exercise. It's easier for a 200-pound person to go for a walk than when you're 300 pounds. So by losing weight, life gets easier. Life's tasks are more simple. Getting up, not so hard. I only weigh 190 pounds. If you're 390, you might need some extra effort. Might be extra hard. You might say, not worth it. Too heavy, I'm not going to get up. Too much effort, too much weight. Then you get in even worse shape. It's a vicious spiral. Do yourself a favor and have lower calorie foods than last time. More voluminous with less fats. Keep the healthy fats like salmon and get rid of as much of the rest. And you will be healthier than freaking last time. I promise you.
But when you strip out the fat and less sodium and throw in that amount of nasty preservatives, not good for your body at all. If you can eat pork, you're much better off with pork bacon over turkey bacon.
So he ends the video with saying you're better off eating pork bacon than turkey bacon because pork bacon has more sodium and fat, whereas the turkey bacon, it's got more preservatives. It may have more preservatives, but it has less fat and calories. And at the end of the day, calories in, calories out. It's not preservatives in, calories out. So just because it has more preservatives doesn't mean it's going to make you more fat. You can debate me on how healthy it is, but you cannot debate me on eating a lower calorie diet is going to make you lose weight. And if you eat a higher fat diet, it is going to be harder to lose weight. Do you want your diet to be harder than last time or easier than last time? Last I checked, people are struggling to lose weight. And if you're struggling to lose weight, get one of my cookbooks. Low-calorie, delicious meals to keep you full. You will not feel like you're dieting. Tastes amazing. It's healthy. Trust me, it is healthy, full of fruits and vegetables, antioxidants. You are going to get everything you need. Just eat from the cookbook as often as you desire. You can still eat meals that are not in the book, but the more foods you choose from the cookbook, the easier it's going to be to stick to your diet. Ending it here. GregDoucette.com for coaching. Greg Doucette IB Pro. Bloops are over there. Watch one of the bloops. Follow me on the Gram to Talk. Subscribe. Click the freaking bell button. Buy the book. And until next time, I am out.